It's where the sun shines down to make things grow, and the dignity of reaping what you sow.
We've had literally decades, over 100 years, of you take this population and you house them someplace where no one can see them because they're not productive, they're not useful to society.
If you look at what's available out there for this community in the way of housing, there's very little, very little.
When these kids become adults, there's nowhere for them to go in terms of living away from home that's a viable option. There are no viable options on the coast.
Let's face it, the state system's not working. Do we want to put the kids in Agnew, that's not even there anymore, or Napa, or some residential home with underqualified attendants that don't live nearby?
I think you go to San Francisco, Golden Gate Park, you see all these homeless people. I wonder, my question is, how many of them are special needs people?
Probably about 80% of them, actually.
I mean, look at those poor people. They're wallowing around on sidewalks, sleeping on sidewalks and under trees, and that's a good example of why we need a facility like this.
I'm originally from Sweden, and I do have a half-brother who has Down syndrome, and I know how the system is working there, which is so amazing. And obviously it's nothing here on the coast or in California that is working as well as it does over there.
My experience is that special needs kids and adults have been subject to isolation, and if you spend any time with any of these individuals, you'll find out that they have a lot to offer, and it's time that people realize that.
These people can be just as productive, can contribute just as much to their community as anyone else. But they don't have a forum. They don't have a place. They don't have a structure within which they can do that.
My little sister Emmy is 19, not really little anymore, and she has grown up in Half Moon Bay her entire life, and Big Wave is important to us, my family and Emmy, because Big Wave will allow Emmy to live in the community that she's been a part of for her entire life. Not only will she be able to live independently, but she'll also be able to contribute to society, which is very important. Emmy has been very involved in her community for the past couple of years. She works at the dentist office and she works at the farmer's market. And this Big Wave will allow her to continue to be a part of her community.
Basically, what we see here is an opportunity for all these kids to continue to form the bonds that they already have and learn from each other.
Big Wave is important to our family perspective in the sense
For you, girl.
will allow Cassie to be as independent as possible, and she's very capable.
Isolation is not the route for these kids. I mean, they have a lot of personality, a lot of things to offer, and in most cases, they are the ones that are smiling out there.
These are people who don't have the envy and the jealousy and the hatred of people. They don't resent people when they do well. They are the first ones to clap. And when anybody, especially when one of their friends does well, they want to clap.
Emmy really enjoys playing in the Special Olympics basketball. She plays on the team, but she's also a cheerleader, and that has given her a whole new, not only is it a way for her to be active, but she interacts with all kinds of different people, and it gets her out there experiencing new things every weekend, which is great.
My son is Mark. He has cerebral palsy, is visually impaired, and is legally blind, and he's very excited to be at baseball today.
We know every one of our residents, or non-residents who happen to use this, everybody can't live here. We know what they want. We talk to them about what they want. Again, we're not just trying to take care of our special needs kids. We want them to realize their abilities and to become independent. Like us all, our special people need a purpose and an independent life. And the only way you can do that is if you really start getting control of how you get control of what gives you the purpose. There's the affordable housing, there's the money, there's a meaningful job, not just some job that you make up, but something that actually gives to somebody else. People pay you for it, and you give them a good service, and it works out in a bi-directional manner. The goal of the business park, and this is by design, is to create the things that not only make a business park an affordable place for businesses, but a very nice place for businesses to be. So you have the wetlands, which are for runoff. These wetlands need to be maintained. All the water is recycled. The waste is recycled. All of this needs to be maintained. What makes this a green LEED Platinum certified job, like the solar, like the wind, like the placement of the buildings, make sure that you have a parking structure that's porous. All this needs to be maintained.
One of the neater things that I like about it is I recently have spent some time in self-sustaining communities, and to have an organic farm and be able to produce their own food and so forth is a really phenomenal thing. To see something like that and what could grow from it could be really phenomenal.
There's plenty of acreage that you're going to have the farmland, organic farms. It could be a business for them as well. Having the produce sold to local restaurants, I would drive up there to support the whole business end of it. And I think a lot of the local will do so.
It's a chance to give back and make it on your own.
To me, it sounds like a win-win situation.
Big Wave is not using any government funding at all. It's a completely privately funded facility. It is not raising anybody's tax dollars. It's not using any public assistance whatsoever.
Just almost intuitive that you would come to these conclusions without even having to read the report, because of the dynamics of how this works.
Absolute. But in the meantime, can we wait? Or, do we have to get involved and make sure this happens?
This is visionary. It really is. Big Wave is visionary. It's very avant-garde.
It's an A1 project, in my opinion.
So that's why I'm a big supporter of Big Wave. I think it's needed.
Big Wave, for me, represents a certain amount of freedom for both the parents and the kids.
Everybody will win from this.
We as citizens need to get in, and private people in, and just go for it. Get the project going.
Big Wave, because my friends were very beautiful with me. I like it very much. Thank you.
Brush your